Generic greetings! In the previous episode, we cracked on with several things, mainly the things like the classroom, the shops, the chapel, all of the additional stuff that you do need to have in the prison, but it's sort of been neglected just a little bit. We also planned off a couple of areas, this thing in the centre, which is... what the hell is that? Actually, why is someone... why was this just a random food tray just slapped in the middle of nowhere? Did someone walk here and just give up and go, I can't be bothered eating this, just fling it on the ground? Oh, littering. Horrible. Anyway, we planned off this. This is our proposed solution for the common room, so hopefully that'll go down well. I have read the comments. Most people agree that this is a good way to go, but with a couple of tweaks, we'll get on that later. Over here was a little bit more problematic because we had an area where I sort of overzealously said, we should have loads and loads and loads of cells all the way along here for solitary. And most people said, yeah, you've probably overdone it, especially considering we're going to have that side there as well. So what I'm going to do instead is we're going to have a 5x5 here, which will be a power block, right? So what we'll do, we'll have a power room like that. So that'll be objects, right? Like that. And it'll go along like so. And then this is actually what someone directly tweeted me and said, this is the solution I think you should do. And so I'm just copying their entire design because it worked, right? And then you have walls like this. All right, there's some more solitary. So you go through solitary cells there, and then we can actually copy them down to... actually, no, it was 2x2, wasn't it? Something like that. Hang on. That one and that one. That one and that one. And... oh, was it vertical? I should have really copied... yeah, that's right. This way, this way, this way, this way. Up to there. And then... I can't even get these placed right at the moment. There we go. That's the idea that they had. Excellent. Right. So, all of these will be solitary, up and down here. Entranceway will be this side and this side. So, we're going to crack on with that now. What we'll do, materials, brick wall, and then bosh straight across. All the way around. All across. A Sean Connery. Sweaty bollocks. Right, okay. So, we'll have a large, or standard jail door. Actually, no, large jail door to there. Staff door to there. Obviously, this is going to be staff only. And then we need to have our... materials, brick walls, and then we might as well do all of these. Now, I'm not going to run any power into this because we're going to power it separately. And the reason we're powering it separately is because we need to. That's just the fact of it. We need to power it separately because we're running out of power. And B, this is going to be all workshop, same as this, and obviously this is going to be just a total mirror. So we'll actually have a fairly big workshop area in this prison, which means that even though we've got a slight issue with contraband, it's going to massively go up, which will be interesting to see exactly how this works. We also probably need to hire some more staff, even though I did fire the workmen. I'm going to hire a total of 4 more workmen, even though I did originally have 12 and sack them. The reason, at the time, it did work out, but we didn't have any workshop at that time, and now because we do have workshop, we will need workers to come and go from the pickups and exports, so we do need that, so there we go. Right, so we'll just go to utilities and then to power station. We're going to put a power station in there, and then we'll put a capacitor. We'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 capacitors. Obviously, money is going down, which is problematic, so we do need to worry about that and sort these grants out. We also need to go to deployment, and that's staff only. Make sure that's staff only. These don't need to be, but that does, and these are all protective custody, which is totally fine. Speaking of protective custody, this is Lauren Moon, who, if I have a quick look at their rap sheet, is a snitch, and then we need to go to punish. Solitary lockdown is still on there, so we're going to go for another lockdown, 24 hours, even though they'll be put in the same cell. That's okay, but we're still working for permanent punishments, and I haven't got a lawyer, which is something I should have thought about before, and I'm pretty sure, someone probably has mentioned this in the last episode's comments. I just didn't see it, I must confess. Right, so we do need to go to utilities, and we need to check a couple of things. First things first, we see this one down the bottom. What I'm going to do is run a capacitor. I'm going to run power cable down and then along, and I'm going to stop it there for now because any further will break the grid. And then I want to go to dismantle utility, and I want to dismantle all of the power, but actually I'm going to have to dismantle all of it, like so. And then we will run some more water pipe, large water pipe down, you see, because it's water pipe that we don't really want to get rid of the water pipe. It's over the top, you see. There we go. There is actually some tools that you can get. There are actually some tools that you can get to dismantle each one. It's on the workshop and such. Right, so there's all of that. We'll connect that up, and then that should power all this bottom bit. You can see there's a lot of power outages. which is bad. Want to do a full shakedown because we haven't done one in quite a while. We haven't yet got any escapes, but doesn't mean we have. There's not someone trying to escape. In terms of dog patrols, we want to expand this over here and up to there. Is it up to there? Yes, it is up to there. And we're going to put dog patrols on either side. 2 of. There we go. We do need to expand. Is that about right? Yeah, that is right. We need to go over to the kennel. And many people have already mentioned this, but we need to expand the kennel. Which is exactly what I'm doing. People are sort of agreeing with my decision to put these guys in the armory. So that actually it's a decent idea because it means that the suppression effect will go, right? You see there's a massive suppression effect there. Suppressing compliant. They've also mentioned that if that goes and then it starts kicking off, then it's my fault. Yes, you are right. But as I've said several times, although many will share in our success, I will bear solely and very heavily the blame of failure. So basically, if it goes right, then all the people who said, "Oh, we should do this and this," will be like, "Yay, it was a good decision. I said that." And when it goes wrong, it's, "Oh, he's done it wrong. He's an idiot," which I can't really fault. But you know, life is life, right? Either way, what is going to happen is once I've got them there, we can then get some more dog patrols. But yeah, the whole armed guard situation. I'm going wrong tabs all the time. I just mash the tabs until I find the right one. We'll go to 6 dogs. There we go. The old armed guard situation. I've used them pretty much every time they've come out because the risk is very, very low. Actually, what I forgot to do. Go to programs, reschedule a lot. And then, where is it? Parole hearing. We're going to start as many as we can. It doesn't cost any money, so there's no reason not to do this. There we go. I'm probably going to need more parole hearing at some point, but, you know. Yeah, the whole armed guard situation, I've always placed them. Pretty much every episode, or every build, I've pretty much always placed them, which is not great. It's not great because you remove the violence aspect of it, and if it does kick off and people charge the armory, it's already too late, right? There pretty much is nothing you do about it. You're going to have to call in everybody anyway. You're going to have to use the emergency tab. But the benefit is that it very rarely kicks off because there's people with shotguns and stuff, and if it does, they easily quench that riot, or the violence that's going on anyway, and that's pretty much it. The downside, mainly, is the suppression effect, which really does hinder people's... have we got a grading yet? No, we've only got 4 people left. The huge downside is the suppression effect. Jump cut! I bet you wouldn't have even seen it if I didn't mention it. Someone was at the door. Postman, actually. I have parcels, and I don't know what it is. Hopefully it'll be lots of things, or just some fish that people have sent through the post because they're like the mafia. Right, so... we need to finalise the power situation over here. We can see that the water is running fine. All of this is now connected up with the electrical cables on the other grid, which is good, but this one isn't. So you can see it's really reduced this. But even still, that's still running quite high. That's still running quite hot. And this one, it'll be pretty much the same once we connect it to a boatload of things in here. In terms of money, the situation is fairly poor. We don't actually have much at all, and it is going down by the day. What I could do, I could always sack these armed guards, but I think it would be a fairly bad idea. If we did sack them, and we then needed them, yeah, it would probably cause us a lot of issues. I know there has been people saying that what we should probably do from now on is start to get some more prisoners, and you're right. I think what we need to do is, instead of this, focus on getting another cell block up and running. But with the current money, no, we just don't have it. The inmate nutritional research will be done, though, in only a couple of days, so it's essentially just a waiting game. We are losing money hand over fist, and I don't know why. I'm guessing it's because of the workers. I don't know why. I'm going to go to intake, and... do I really want to just open up max sec? Yeah, let's bring some max sec in, why not? We've got enough guards and stuff now that I think we could probably handle it. That's been going up and down, up and down. Every episode I've changed my mind on which to bring in and things like that, but I think it's about time we just bring them in. And also, they give you the most money, so that is fine with me. We need to serve one more high variety, high quantity meal for well, just one more. It says for 2 days, but it doesn't mean that. Or rather, that's the overall objective, but you can see that's slowly going down. One more meal will do it, and then we can change it to a single low quantity, low variety meal. And actually, that was the reason why I was not bringing high-risk prisoners in, because I wanted this done. Oh, well, I don't think 2 is going to really change it that much. We want to do a full shakedown, so this will piss them off even more, but why not? We'll get it done. There's a ding-a-ling noise there, and I reckon that is permanent punishment, so let's have a quick look. We're going to click on the prisoner, so there we go. Open our rap sheet and protective custody, and you can say yes, lockdown permanent. So they're going to always stay in that cell, but I don't think they're really too bothered, because if we look at our room quality, that is a total of 9. Yeah, we could easily fix this by putting windows on the outside, but I did say that I don't like the idea of it. People have commented to say that perhaps, just put it there, because mechanically it makes no difference whatsoever. So you're right. It doesn't really matter at all. Like we say, mechanically it doesn't mean anything. So that there will actually fix the problem. Strange that radios cost like 100, yet a couple of metal bars cost 200. So, we're almost finished serving these meals. It says 95%, which is strange because we're not actually cooking any meals at all, but it's still going up. I'm not complaining, it's just an observation, because I'd rather not cook more high-variety meals. Oh, look, they are starting cooking it. They are starting to cook this one now. Once this one's done, we should be pretty much sorted. Looks like we haven't got anyone trying to tunnel, or at least nobody's been detected. There's been no flags or anything pop up as far as I can tell. Haven't actually put the little lines there for the fencing. But you know what? I'm starting to agree with what people have said, that does look better. It does look better. People have mentioned that we should put some doors in here and doors in the side. I think I have covered this, but I'll cover it again. Essentially, the reason why we don't put doors on these sides is because eventually this will go down to the expansion if we do get that far, or if that's what people want. And if that is the case, we'd have door there, door there, door there, door there, door there, door there. And it'll just be a nightmare, so I'm not going to bother. I'll wait. The people can happily go around. It doesn't really matter that much. In terms of money, it's just been increased massively, which is very, very good. We do need to go over here, and we need to go to rooms, and then solitary, and then we need to designate these as solitary, like so. Now, slight problem is I want to put solitary doors on those, but solitary doors do cost a fair bit of money, but I'm still going to put them in. I'm just going to spend a little bit of money doing that, and it means we can go over to our reports and then policy, and then start to change these things. So if you get any attack staff, serious injury, or anything like that, you get solitary, and I'm going to reduce the punishment by 2 hours down the board, essentially, because it's, apart from these found weapons, serious injury gets solitary, just because you don't need that much. You don't need that much. So escape attempt, solitary, 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 3 hours, 4 hours. I think attack staff is 4 hours, serious injury is 4 hours. I think that'll do us quite nicely. Intoxication, 2 hours. See, luxuries isn't in here. Oh, there it is. You scroll down. I'm going to say I thought it would be. Lockdown, 2 hours. There we go. Right, so we've got parole running. We can stop a second and change things. So we need to go to we need to serve a single low quantity, low variety meal. And it is exactly what it says. Low quantity, low variety. I put that to none before, and we spent days doing nothing, which was a nightmare. And then we need to go to needs and just check. There's a clothing need, literacy need. Good grief. There's already a... Is there any food need in here? Where is it? Warmth, freedom, clothing, drugs, food. Food needs already a little bit concerning. Okay, this is gonna get a bit violent, I think, but we'll see how it goes. So we need to go to work free time, change all of that. This is fine, and work free time, like that essentially. Okay. So we know that just these end 2 pieces should have been eat. And then what I might do, I might bring the armed guards back out. Guard patrols, cancel them for now. Oh, that's just guards, we don't want them. Armed guards. And we need to get suppression effect because there's going to be food riots. So let's see how this one goes. Right, so we're halfway there to increasing our capacity to max level. Sorry, not max level, 50 to 100. We're currently on 50, halfway. And still going for serve the single low quantity, low variety meals for 2 days. Reform through Education Initiative is never going to be completed because it never is. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. What I'm going to do now is, while we essentially wait for cash and wait for this grant to complete, I want to make sure that these cells here are all done correctly. So I'm going to measure off one of them, and then we know that this is about right. So, if this is the entranceway... Hang on. This is concerning. How big is that? 20. So that is correct. Okay. So 3 and 3. It's because that's 2. I was going to say that. Hang on, there's some problem here. Why is this not lining up correctly? There, it is now lined up correctly. That's a little bit... No, it's not lined up correctly. That was correct in the first place. The other side was wrong. Alright. This is why I plan things off first, you see? Because it means that I'm not spending money and getting it wrong. I'm probably still getting it wrong anyway, but we'll see how it goes. So, these are going to be all the cells here. This is going to be a carbon copy of what is down the bottom. Nobody's really said anything else about these cells, so I'm more than happy to assume that they're okay. I'm still going to go with the little lip, or the wall that goes all the way around this front bit here. There's a sort of thing that goes around here. This common room, what size is it? 7 by 8. So it's actually that size, with entrance like so. And then we have a shower, and then at the back, I believe it goes something like that. It's something like that, isn't it? It's like a weird size. So we'll check the shower. Shower is 8 by 11. 8 by 10. Ah, okay. That means this comes out by 1 then. Yeah. So if this is correct, that is 8 by 8. Which it is. Then these cells are 7 by 7. Now they're correct. Hang on. Now they're correct. 7 by 7. Is that correct? Something is wrong. Or is it wrong? It is wrong. Ah, of course, because these bottom cells are actually 3 by 3. Right. Okay, that changes matters. 3 by 3. There we go. I forgot these were slightly different sizes as they go down. Well, I knew that there were these bottom ones were different, but I forgot about these other ones here. So that looks about right. Could even put the entrance there. No, it's not. It's like that. Right. So we know now the entranceway there, then in the centres. Technically, these are open, so we'll do that. And these will go in the centre. Now remember, it's sort of mirrored over the edge. We're not doing a shakedown because I don't want to piss them off anymore. Having them pissed off even further was not a good idea. So, go to there. And then the walls. And then, where is the entrance to this? It's on the left-hand side. So it's there, essentially. Right, so that is pretty much a copy of that, as far as I can tell. I'm hoping. Halfway through the grant here for nutritional research, the Reform Through Education initiative is still going to be impossible. We've had a death. Oh my good grief, what has happened here? Wow. Emma Pennock, a snitch. I didn't see it. I didn't actually notice that they were a snitch. It looks like the high-risk prisoner that we got in is immediately... As soon as you get high-risk prisoners, it just starts to kick off. 6 years, multiple crimes including shoplifting and burglary, and they've just got shanked for it, which is a bit excessive. So, Caitlin Lacey, 21 years, multiple crimes including armed robbery, perjury. Estimated reoffending chances pretty much 50%, well, 40 odd. Strong and volatile. They were put down quite quickly. and they are being taken somewhere. Where are they being taken? I'm guessing they're getting taken over to the infirmary. It would make sense, wouldn't it? Excellent. One thing I haven't checked, and people have asked me about this, is we are currently running on our programs the kitchen safety and hygiene, which is 7 interested, which is good. But it's the alcoholics group therapy that people have mentioned. And they're saying, like, is that actually being done in this common room? Well, I think it is. We've just never seen it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait until it goes. Yes, it is, look. It is actually being done exactly where it should be. This is something that I thought would not work. I planned it hoping it would work. But also, I said that, you know, the chances are it's not really going to work because it's only a common room with a couple of chairs, and as soon as we do it elsewhere, it might then change it over. But because it's the first one, it looks like, yeah, it is actually working. That's great. I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. In terms of also our... oh, hang on. There's not that there. Up and around? Could be. Could be real. No, normally we go out that way. Yeah, it's not real. It's a fake call. In terms of our family members, we have 1, 2... Does it tell me? I don't think it does. I think in just terms of prisoners, it doesn't tell you. And it doesn't have them next to it. It doesn't have it like next to them. It doesn't show you if they've got any kids or anything like that, which is a shame. Would be nice if it showed you. 1, 2, 3. I think we got... Doesn't tell me there either, does it? No. I think we got about 5 or 6 family members that come here because we have seen that, which is okay. Halfway for the inmate nutritional research. What I'm going to do, go to planning, and I'm probably going to plan off this side again. So it's actually the opposite way, like that. And then the standard cells around it. No reason to plan the rest off, but what I do want to do is see how many things we can have in the workshop. So assuming we have tables, which I always forget the size of tables. They are 4. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That fits in quite nicely. There we go. All the way to the end here. And then we need to do the 3x3s. So it's not going to be huge, this thing. There's no reason to have it massive. What if we have a gap of 2 between them? No. No, it's not necessary. 3, 3, 3, and then 3. And then 2. And we're not going to be able to have them in there as well. Strange. I guess it makes sense to have a road down the centre where you can walk, which is a bit better. Right, so that would be... Actually, it would be probably better if we shift these over like that. And then there's definitely like a central section where you can walk down. You can walk down here and then you can walk up and down there. So that's a total of 8. Is it? 4, 8, yeah. 8 presses and 8 saws. Same on the other side. So the workshop isn't the biggest in the world, but it should function. What doesn't function, however, is... Now that I come to think of it, we are going to put it back to where it was. And the reason for that is I will have an even bigger problem with this side if I don't have a metal detector in. So there's that. Oh, these should be objects, but I think you understand. Right, this is going to have a metal detector in here. Because if I don't have a metal detector in there, it will pretty much break the entire prison, which is something we don't want. No, I don't want that, no. So, if we look over here, we can see there's lots of suppression. That's a good thing for us because that's why we put the patrols there. Because if we check our needs, yeah, there's a lot of critical needs and especially food. Not a lot of critical, but you can see there's very, very high, medium, and... Well, hang on, that's really confusing for you. There's a fairly big need in terms of overall hunger. It is medium for 30 plus prisoners, and then for a couple more it is high, and then some even less than that. There's 4 in fact. 4 prisoners are furious that they can't meet this need. 11 prisoners desperately want this need fulfilled. 31 prisoners are concerned, and then 34 prisoners actually have it. So essentially 34 out of 34 have the need, because not all prisoners have the same need, for example. So you can see that all prisoners have a bladder, bowels and sleep need. It's just essentially whatever our max capacity is, not the max capacity, but what we've got in here. But in terms of alcohol, look, there's only 4 prisoners have the need, so they need to go to the alcoholic scoop therapy, which is why we're running it. Excellent. On 83% on the inmate nutritional research, raise capacity to 100. Don't know if we're going to do that. If we just check our programs, I want to check the... Where is it? Spiritual guidance, parole hearing, alcoholic group, foundation. There we go. Foundation education program still running. Several people interested. It's just what I wanted to check to see if anyone's passing it, but nobody is yet, because well, there isn't actually anyone like completed yet, because it takes a total of 10 sessions. So yeah. So we're starting parole hearing. We're going to get some more prisoners. I don't know why we got a huge daily cash flow. Look at that. Massively reduced. I don't know why. It's a bit strange. We haven't got any fines or anything, have we? No, we have got no fines. We could sell some of our prison. Sell shares. 25 grand we'd get. I think it's worth it. We're going to sell some shares just to get some money. Right. Building brick. And let's smash this in. And then we're going to smash this one in. There we go. I was trying to hold off doing it, but we can't really just sit here for a week and a day waiting for money. So let's get some building on. At least we have managed to get all the planning done for the bits that we need to. So, do you think this is a good idea? I think that's the only way to go. But again, if you think that's a bad idea for the workshop, let me know. And this one, there's no real feedback. Well, the only feedback is, have I measured that wrong? If so, let me know, and I'll fix it for when we actually come to do the top bit. We haven't yet done this top bit of the yard, which I know a lot of people have asked me to do. So I guess I can do it. We'll go for weight benches and we'll sort it out. It's quite a simple task. It's essentially that. Go to the other side. And that. And then it is bench. And it's, what is it, 2 off? Gap 3, gap 3. 2 off, gap 3, gap 3. Same thing on the other side. And I think that is about right. Might be wrong. And then we want to put trees in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same on the other side, like so. Oh god! I had a and then before I could do anything, we had a death. Snitch. Another snitch. I don't know whether I missed that. Again, I don't know whether I missed it. Or whether they just had a hidden trait. I'm going to check it. I haven't actually checked any of these. Gang members. How many gang members have we got? Just the 1 still. In terms of snitch, we've only got the 1. But it's these high-risk prisoners. They really don't give a crap. They just start stabbing. They just go away. They start going hell for leather with it. Solitary cells. We do need to put these solitary cells in. Get some more in. I'll get the whole road done to about there. There we are. I'll finish the rest off later. So, this is going to be our common room. Now, I do need to run a bit more electrical cable in, like so. Which hopefully... Oh, we actually need to do that, to be fair, because we're going to put some metal detectors in. I don't need them. In fact, lock open. I don't need the metal detectors in here, actually, to be completely honest with you. But my theory is that any building that they're going to go through or in and out of or use it as like a passageway, it's always best to put a metal detector in there because you'll pretty much always detect something. Because even if the first one misses it, which is a very low chance anyway, the rest will get it. That's the way I'm thinking. I haven't got a metal detector here, actually, on Visitation, which people have mentioned I should probably do. I agree, it's actually a great idea. We should put one there. I've just completely missed it out. What I could do is metal detector. That's not metal detector at all. Metal detector and put one there and then there. Doesn't really sit right. It would need to go. We need to move these along by 1 to get it fully done. So I'll dismantle these and move them along. And I'll put like a bit of a brick wall in. You don't need to do this, I'm aware, but it just seems to just make sense to me to do it properly. Or at least what my version of properly is, which is not what most people's version of properly is. And then there we go. We do need to then connect these up. So we'll run wires along to there. And then run wires along to there. Right. So there's this all powered up. So we need to go to rooms, common room. And here. And we'll cancel these little bits off. There we go. And there we are. Right. So in this room, we need to have the pool tables, which I did say, I was going to sort out. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put all three of them in because, as people rightly said in the previous episode's comments, I haven't planned out for, where is it? It is arcade cabinet. I haven't got them in. And that's what we want. We do want an arcade cabinet in here. So I want to put TVs in first. Large TVs. And we'll put a test telly in. And we'll see how big that, what sort of size that projects to. Let me just check the power as well. Power is okay, no problem at all, really. This room here, we will start cloning. And then we'll probably start buying bits of the prison back. It's going to cost a little bit, but we'll buy it back. I really didn't want to sell parts of it. I don't know why. I just, every time I do it, I go, damn it, not mine. Someone else owns a bit of it. Anyway, oh, look at that. That does project quite a ways, that, doesn't it? So we don't need, at all, the bits down here. We just don't need it. So, we could have benches, but I like chairs. And there we go. I think we can get one more in, but it doesn't really show that it would... Would that work? I don't know. Either way, we're going to do that. I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 6, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. So there's a lot of them in. So, TV. Large TV. And then arcade cabinet. Decided we're only going to be seeing the back of it. Oh no, we could do that and then round that. Could have the arcade. The arcade cabinets like so. We can then put another row on the other side, but they're 500 each, so it's quite expensive. I'd rather not buy a bazillion of them. And then we haven't got any phone booths. We haven't got any common phone booths, so let's sort that out. Phone booth. And no, let's not put it in the walkway, shall we? That makes sense. Right, and then we do need to eventually connect up some... while this person's in solitary. We do need to eventually connect up some phone taps. I'm just going to recruit informants here. And can't actually recruit that informant. Oh, well, fair enough. So, we now have this common room pretty much sorted. Clone tool. We shall begin. Cloning from the top and working down. And this side. And there as well. So we need to do the bottom ones, we need to do the centre bits, but I am going to leave it there, mainly because it's cracking on a little bit, and I've got a plumber turning up any second now, so I should probably leave it. Next episode, what I want to do is get the centre section sorted in this bit. Actually, what I want to do next episode is get both of these cells done. Get these both these cells done, and then we know that the entire bottom section is sorted. We also need to probably finalise some bits up here, like what we're going to do. I feel like most of it is done. Is all the planning done here? Let's have a... Yes, it is. All the planning's done. This is solitary. That's another power block. This is the workshop, which we're probably going to get onto either next episode or the one after it, but let me know which one you prefer, which order. We need to copy this over to here. We need to start build. We'll need to build this manually. We can't clone it, but once it's built, we can just clone it over. These two are sorted because we know this is going to be a copy of this, and this is going to be a nursery, which is there as well. So pretty much sorted. We need to add some more stuff in the center in the canteen. We also need to maybe add a little bit more into the kitchen, and we need to get patrols done in these new areas because we haven't got them. But either way, Not a bad bit of building. I know it was a bit slow at the start, but we got all the necessary planning that we needed to do. So, as always, let me know what you want to change, things like that. And we need to start thinking about expansion, but we'll get onto that in the next couple of episodes. But, yeah, progressing on nicely. A couple of deaths, sadly, which I don't really like. In terms of our policy as well, you can see the meal variety and quantity is low, but we have now done, as far as I can tell, the grant. Yes, the grant is done. We have actually got the grant done. We're going to get prison manufacturing facility, so in next episode we also need to change the regime as well, but we'll do that all next episode, like I said. As always, comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching, take care, and generic partings.